This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the one going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me through this journey. We'd like to acknowledge and thank our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Andre the Man in White, Chad Welsh, Sean McGuire, Rikky Morrisette, Yanis, Albert Lorenzo, and Eddie Costello. We'd also like to welcome Skeeterish and Jacek Blonsky to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your support and your generosity. It really does mean a lot to us. And just a really quick spoiler warning before we get into this that you all probably know already, but we have read up to the end of Fires of Heaven, Book 5, and that means in these chapters we will likely be discussing events that happen in the first 5 Wheel of Time books. So if you haven't read those yet and you don't want to be spoiled, I would recommend going to read those and then coming back to these new spring episodes. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 15 through 18 of New Spring.
Yeah, I love these because last time you were like, oh my god, when are we going to get to the whole part where they meet? And it's like, we're getting there.
Yeah, but not quite.
Not quite.
I thought we were.
But it's like, boom.
The question was answered immediately.
Time lapse. That's
and
how we do it.
No meeting.
Yeah.
We're in the same city,
but
same town.
We're so close.
Going to travel to the same town.
You know, I really wanted to see Lan and Bukama's holiday vacation.
I really thought they
road tripping.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
To the south and then back up. No.
Yeah.
Skipping
They
it.
totally went on a bunch of adventures, had a great time. They had a blast, for sure.
For sure.
Most fun road trip ever.
Lots of selfies.
Tons. Okay, so, chapters. We've got Chapter 15, Into Canluum, Chapter 16, The Deeps, Chapter 17, An Arrival, and Chapter 18, A Narrow Passage.
Yeah.
And holy smokes, that's just the land stuff we're talking about, but there's also Moraine and Swan stuff. Oh my god.
Some stuff happens. Some stuff happens
Crazy.
all over.
Yes.
Okay.
We have a lot to discuss today.
All right, so should we get into it?
Yeah, and I got a good fun fact about New Spring for you. So,
like the season?
No, not the season, the book.
Oh, the book.
Yeah. I see what you did. Okay, yeah, not that, but this.
I actually thought you meant the season.
Yeah, no. I just want to talk about the publishing of New Spring.
Remember that one Q&A question when somebody said, "What's your favorite season?"
Yeah.
And I was like, season 5. I think book 5 is my favorite book, and they meant fall.
Yeah.
Summer, spring seasons.
Yeah, those seasons.
Yeah.
Okay. So, here we go. And this is actually relevant to the reception of New Spring. So, New Spring was originally published as a novella in an anthology, which is basically just a collection of short stories from different authors put into a book called Legends, Short Novels by the Masters of Modern Fantasy.
Oh, interesting, because last time you talked about the graphic novel that it was turned into.
So originally it was a smaller short story put into this anthology, and then this is the interesting thing is that was released in 1999, so that was between books 8 and 9.
Okay,
so the novella, the short version of this book was released between book 8 and 9, but then RJ later expanded on the novella into what we now know as New Spring.
Okay.
And that was published in 2004 between book 10 and 11.
Right.
So that's also a reason why this book might not have had such great reception, because a lot of fans had already gone and bought the anthology and read basically a portion of the book. And then when they got published as the entirety book, they're like, oh, we only got a half a book for waiting for the year for it. So,
and then anthology, did that have other works from other authors as well?
Yeah, it actually had a lot of big names in it.
I think I've seen some of that.
A lot of really big names were in this one. So there was Stephen King with The Dark Tower, there was Earthsea, there was Discworld, and there was also A Song of Ice and Fire in that one too. Yeah. So there's a bunch of little short works, and there's a dozen stories or something, just the short works in it. So sounds cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. So last time we were here, a lot happened.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
After becoming Aes Sedai, Moraine and Swan got assigned jobs that they did not like.
Yep.
And then Tamara got murdered.
Whoa!
Okay, I speculated it was murder, but we didn't know it was murder until this chapter.
You still technically don't know that it was murder.
I think, I pretty much knew last time, and now I'm
excuse me, that's
definitely sure that this is murder.
We know that she is no longer alive. We don't know it was a murder.
Okay, I'm pretty damn sure.
Yeah, keep moving.
Likely, allegedly,
Allegedly.
she was murdered. And she was replaced by someone just awful. Now that's fact.
That is fact. Yeah, we're for sure about that one.
Okay, now Moraine and Swan said yes to several dresses.
Yeah.
Last time.
Nice, good reference.
And Moraine ran some errands at the bank.
Uh-huh.
And then she ran away.
Then she ran away. She left.
She left.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
I mean, does it qualify as running away?
Yes.
If she's a full Aes Sedai now, she technically...
She is not allowed to run away. She's not allowed to leave, and she left. That's running away.
True, okay.
If she had no requirement to stay in Tarvalon...
Yeah, like if the new Amyrlin wasn't like, hey, you have to stay here.
Yeah, and she left, then it would just be leaving.
Yeah.
But...
This is like a direct opposition of the Amyrlin's orders.
She ran the heck away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, so...
Oh, yes. So chapter 15 is called Into Canluum. And we get a symbol of some deer head we've never seen before.
Yeah. It's a good one. I like the image.
Yeah, it has to do with the people who live in this place.
Yeah, it's like the sigil of the guy. Yeah.
Sure it is.
It's good.
Yeah.
We're just not...
Alright. We're entering in our land perspective.
Yeah, finally. It's been a lot of Moraine. Yeah.
Well, we got Lan a little bit last time when he was like, I want to go north. And it's like, no, let's go sightseeing. Okay. And then I was like, what's going to happen? How are they going to run into each other? This is a big problem. And then, boom, answered.
Yeah.
Because now it's been months, and Lan is making his return to Candor.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, phew.
There we go.
It is.
Yeah,
there
okay.
we go.
Okay.
So this is a little while later, months probably. We get a time lapse because he went on his vacation, and now he's back in the Borderlands.
Yes.
And he's heading into Canluum, which is... Now I'm trying to get my Borderland nation straight. We have Candor to the west-ish of the Borderlands.
Yeah, Candor is kind of like right in the middle there, because from west to east, it goes Saldea, then Candor, then Arafel, and then Shinar.
Right, okay. Yeah, so I was thinking Candor's left of... Or west. Left on the map, west of Shinar.
Yes.
Okay. But I guess depending on where they were coming from, they're ending up in Candor.
Yeah, they're in Candor.
Alright, so we also get a lot of description of merchants and farmers. They're all here.
Yeah.
It's a happening place.
And there's a lot of bandits.
Bandits too.
A lot of bandits, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And rumors of a man who can channel.
Ooh.
Kind of relevant, sort of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Sure. So Lan and Bukuma are attracting some attention, especially because they're wearing their Hadori.
Yes.
And here in the Borderlands, people have some idea what that means.
Yes, we don't know exactly what the reputation is yet. We get it later on.
But it's about the Malchieri who wear it, right?
Yeah, so the Hadori is totally a Malchieri thing, but there's a reputation that seems to go along with that Hadori, and we don't know yet what it is, but it is explained later on in this chapter.
Okay.
These chapters.
Yeah, okay. So Bukuma is being super grumpy about all of this.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it.
Yeah.
And Lan thinks a bit about the Aiel War and being away for 2 years and how the entire time he remained aware of the blight and now it calls to him. He's so dramatic about it.
Also because the South made him super soft and now he's got to get a little bit harder. So
I gotta toughen up again.
Oh man, all that warm weather.
God.
Terrible. It's the worst.
Right. And then we get a description of Canluum.
Yeah, big walls.
Yep.
Dry mode.
Dry mode.
Chapter symbol is the red stag of Lord Varen.
Of course it is.
So there you go.
Yep. And then this is also somewhere you're not allowed to hide your face because it fades.
Yeah. Same thing. We know that already.
Yeah. And then we get some issues right from the start when guards here see Lan and Bukuma's Hadori.
Yes.
And they clearly don't recognize who Lan is yet.
Yeah, and we get that, so the whole thing is there's 2 years since he's been back, so Lan thinks about how a lot of men can die in 2 years, so there's a lot of new faces who don't know who Lan is and all that backstory history stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the reputation of the Hadori that's causing issues and they don't know who Lan is.
Okay. Now, Lan notices that Bukuma has gone quiet, which is apparently a bad sign.
Yeah.
And the guards are looking at them in some kind of way, and a young guard calls down to them and says, okay, I don't want to mess it up. You keep making fun of me. I'm saying it wrong. I'm Alan Mandragoran.
It's Alan!
No.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay, you say it better than me.
No, well, I can't say it perfectly, but it's Alan Mandragoran.
And you think I'm saying Alan.
You're just yelling Alan. It's fine.
No, I'm not.
The important part is that, like, there's the royal prefix there of the Al.
How many takes does
It's
it
like
take
Althor.
for me? I get it.
Yeah.
But I say Althor.
Yeah.
It's like one word.
Alan.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Alan.
Okay, so let's talk about this guy. He's calling down using the royal prefix and saying, "We heard you were dead fighting at the Shining Walls."
Right, that's actually what's important here.
Yeah, and then he gives the Taishar Malkier, and then he says, "I stand ready, Majesty."
Yeah.
Like, this is pretty big.
And it's like, dude.
Yeah, not here, man. Like,
yeah, what are you doing?
cut his mic.
Because now it's like starting to get worse.
Yeah.
So things are getting really tense between the guards and Lan and Bukuma until an officer comes out, recognizes Lan, and then the officer plants himself in the middle, clearly blocking the way, and then tells Lan that he's commanded to keep the peace.
Yeah. So I want to talk about this a little bit here because...
Yeah, tell me, because I'm not even really sure what's happening.
Okay, so here's the big thing, is that this young dude calls Lan by his, like, royal title and calls him Majesty, and then we kind of get this whole thing where Bukuma is like, "What are you talking about, boy? What are you standing ready for, boy?"
Yeah.
Because there's the whole thing about how, you know, him and Lan wear the Hidori, they're like old school Malkier, and then there's this young gun who clearly has his hair cut short, he doesn't have a Hidori, he's leaving his hair untied, and he's standing with a Kandori lord. So we've got this weird difference between the old blood Malkier who still keep to the ways, and the new Malkieri who are just trying to fit in somewhere in the nations, and there's causing lots of tension here. So then when the guard comes up and he's like, "I have to keep the peace here, we can't have you Malkieri, you old school guys causing trouble," that's where we're kind of sitting right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, later, we
Yes.
find out kind of what is this all
yeah,
about.
why this kid is doing this is because Lance's ex-girlfriend
Shit.
caused a bunch of problems.
Ah, no.
Those ex-girlfriends, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They're the worst.
That's what I'm always saying.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's when Bukuma does this whole, like, "I swear I won't draw my sword no matter what." It's like terrible timing, man, for that, but he does that thing too.
Oh!
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask you later why he did that.
Yeah, so Bukuma was
he
tripping the young guy. He was tripping the young guy, causing problems. And then Bukuma is like, "Hey, that's on me. Sorry. I won't do that anymore. And I swear I won't draw my sword for any reason ever inside the walls."
I really wish that he didn't say that.
He probably shouldn't, but he was trying to keep the peace.
Got it.
So, like, in the moment, good decision. But knowing what we know after,
Bad decision. Got it.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't understand why he didn't fight.
Yeah.
And, like, why Lan didn't want him fighting.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's the oath that he swore right here to not draw.
I got it now.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah.
So now Lan and Bukuma are allowed to enter Canluum because of what Bukuma said.
Yeah.
There we are. So we head on in, and we get lots of description about what's going on here. Most notably, we get some Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Who are in here. And we get some news that the old Amyrlin has died.
Yes.
Now...
That's Tamra.
That's Tamra.
Yeah.
And we know that.
Yes, we know that, and now they know that.
But it's been a couple months, and now I guess news has traveled.
Yeah. And that's who was like, "Oh, we're seeing tons of Aes Sedai now because their Amyrlin just died and they're all over the place now."
Yeah, which, like, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he does note that you could go a year without seeing one.
Yeah.
And now there's, like, multiple.
There's some out in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's also really funny because he thinks to himself, who would ever want to be a warder? That sounds like the worst.
Sounds terrible.
I want to stay far away from Aes Sedai and never be a warder.
Right.
I've heard that some can bind you without even asking.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
What? What do you think happens? Oh, my goodness.
I don't know. It sounds like a bit of foreshadowing if you ask me.
What did Moraine do?
Yep.
What happened in New Spring?
Yeah. Here we go. Oh, also some women are wearing veils.
Yeah,
which
and that
seems crazy.
It's crazy.
Because you're not allowed to hide your face.
Yeah.
But I guess the veil is sheer.
Yeah, but you're still not supposed to hide your face.
Fades aren't typically women.
That's actually interesting, too, because no one's ever heard of a female Murdral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have time to get into the breeding habits
of,
I
was going to say Trollocs as well.
How does this actually work here?
But we don't really know.
Are there female Trollocs? We don't know. Can we tell?
We haven't seen them unless we can't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no mention of boobs yet with Trolloc.
None.
So, I mean,
Zero Trolloc boobs.
The axe was hanging between the boobs of the Trolloc.
Or the Trolloc never folded its arms underneath its breasts, so...
Hey, you could write fantasy. Oh my god. I like this.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway, let's finish this chapter.
We also get the whole thing about the other old blood guy.
Sure. What guy?
So
What?
Nazar Curnin. So there's another Malkieri guy twice Lan's age.
Oh.
And he is also, no longer holding on to the identity of Malkier. And Lan's normally Bukama would, go crazy because of this. But it's just, hinting that when Malkier fell, it's not like every single person who was from Malkier died.
No, yeah.
They had to relocate.
They escaped, yeah.
They left. They had to go somewhere else. They had to fit in somewhere.
Isam, for one, right?
Okay, I see what you're doing there.
Because it was they left, chased by Trollocs, but he clearly didn't die.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
So,
everyone, scattered.
Yeah, scatter, yeah.
Yeah.
But then that's the whole thing, is they scattered to
That's
different...
Lan's cousin, right?
Yeah, I think that's the relationship there, so it's good. You got a good memory.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But anyways, we're talking about, the Malkier...
Other things, I'm very stupid. Okay.
Yeah. No, so I just like to highlight, they did leave. They went to other nations, and now they're just trying to fit in and continue on with their lives.
All right. Now, Lan and Bukama keep moving forward into the center of the city where the Lord's, fortress palace is.
Yeah, it's a palace, but it's a fortress because it's the Borderlands.
Right, and then we get a description of Lan's reputation because nobles would throw balls and hunts for him and invite tons of people who want to hear about his adventures, and young men who want to join his expeditions into the Blight, and women eager to share his bed.
Yeah, it's a very, men want to be him and women want to be with him situation. He's the cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I bet some men want to be with him, too.
Definitely, yeah.
Yep. Now, Lan says Lord Varen will hold us for a week or more here on ceremony, but he'll be just as happy if we don't show up.
Yeah.
So we actually don't have to go there, and we'd rather just go to an inn and not have a big to-do.
It's he doesn't want to do it, I don't want to do it, we should just skip it.
Let's skip it.
Yeah. And also, we got a note here that men have the Hadori, and then women have the Kisain on their foreheads. So that's their pledge that they would swear their sons to oppose a shadow while they breathed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Is that similar to Moraine's thing or different?
We don't know. We just know that it is a Kisain. We don't know if it's a similar, because Lan's is obviously a hair tie. It ties his hair back.
What's Moraine's called? Kisiera or something?
Yeah, it's a Kisiera.
Something like that,
and this is a Kisain.
All right. Yeah. Sounds good. Shall we move on? Chapter 16?
Let's get into it.
The Deeps?
Yes.
Plural?
It's part of the city.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the chapter symbol is Lan's helmet with the things.
You're doing the image with the,
on
hang loose or whatever.
No, up here like this. It's different.
Okay. I get it.
All right. So we're still with Lan. Lan and Bukama head towards the north wall where there are no palaces.
Yeah.
But they head to a part of the city called the Deeps.
Yeah, it's the bad part. It's kind of they're slumming it here.
Yeah, so they start trying to find an inn with rooms and have to go to several before they reach the fourth, called the Blue Rose.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, did Bukama know who the innkeeper of this one is?
It doesn't seem like he did specifically, because they've been to a few.
Yeah, but I wonder if this one is the fourth for a reason?
Yeah, he's let's go anywhere but there.
I feel like he should know where this chick is.
Maybe. It's been years.
I know.
Years.
2. 6.
It's been 6 years.
It's been 2 since Lan left or something else. No. What?
You're just
What's
doing
happening?
your best here. Lan's been gone, fighting the Aiel War for a couple years.
Yeah.
And Bukama hasn't called this lady in 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're at the Blue Rose.
Yeah.
And when they enter the inn, the woman innkeeper heads over to them, and before Lan can say anything, she grabs Bukama by the ears, pulls him down, and starts kissing him.
Yeah.
Which was very shocking.
Really?
I didn't know what was happening.
Oh, Lan's the looker, but,
Well, it was just...
Well, actually, no, he's not the looker, apparently.
I think he is. I think that guy's razzing him.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, this is Russell.
Yeah.
And this is where we get that it's been 6 years without a word.
Yes.
And then she hits him in the jaw and kisses him again and pulls his ears and then kisses him again.
Yeah, so it's going to be a good night for Bukama.
Well, yeah.
Going to have a okay time, maybe.
I think so. And afternoon as well.
Yeah.
And while this is going on, another man that Lan knows named Rhine greets him.
Okay.
And so Rhine is Lan's oldest friend, except for Bukuma, and they go to a separate table for a drink while Bukuma is indisposed.
Yeah, he's, making out with the ladies, so...
They take off, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, a little behind the scenes action.
I think so. I don't think we see him for a while.
Okay.
And so...
that's actually true, so...
Yeah, so the woman who serves them stares Lan up and down.
Her name's Lyra.
Uh-huh. And she gives herself an invitation to stay with him for the night.
Yeah. And
There
then Lan does the whole thing where he's like, he doesn't say yes, and then there's like some, rated R whispering in the ears.
Yes.
It's all very interesting.
Yeah, but like he doesn't want to say no because then that would bring her dishonor or something.
Yeah.
I don't really get it.
So Ryan calls Lan that like he's got coy modesty, but it's just different customs because in Malkier, it's like you don't start a conversation with a woman unless she starts it with you because Lan knows that Ryan's the kind of guy who will talk to a woman first. And for Lan, that's a no-no.
Yeah, you don't do that.
You don't even talk to them if they don't talk to you.
Yeah, okay.
So it makes the whole Lan and Nynaeve situation interesting.
Yeah, because Nynaeve talked to him first?
I mean,
I don't know. I'd have to
do a
back.
reread.
Yeah, I would have to. I don't know for sure. I think maybe.
Yeah, and then this is where we get the whole thing about the Hadori and what it kind of means. And it seems like a man who wears a Hadori would kill at the drop of a pin.
Okay.
So
Very
it's like
dangerous
and easy to anger, and they're gonna fly off the handle real fast.
Yeah. Well, and this guy, is he the one who has marks from his Hadori, or is that the other old guy?
That's the other old guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he doesn't wear it, but it's still like an indent in his head.
Yeah, I think that was the other old guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this guy's like, oh, you're still good with the ladies, and then we get some customs on what happens in Shinar and the Borderlands and stuff.
Because Ryan's the guy who's like, he was born Malkieri, but was raised in Arafel, so he's more Arafellan because that's where he was raised.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Lan says to him, I didn't expect to find you here. And Ryan says, well, I didn't think to see you either because everyone thinks you're dead.
Yeah, because those are rumors apparently going around.
That you died.
Which is important.
A year ago,
Which is important, very important.
Yeah, and then he says, I expected you would be wherever Edain...
Edain, okay, is that how the audiobook says it?
That's how the audiobook says it,
awesome.
Edain.
Edain.
Yeah, so I would expect that you are wherever she is.
Aha.
And then Lan snaps, and is like, why would I be near her?
Whoa.
Well,
why are you saying that name?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he's like, you haven't heard the news, Lan? Well, let me tell ya, Edain has raised the golden crane in your name when everybody thought you were dead.
Yeah. So this is huge.
Yes, because in the last year, she's been across all the Borderlands and is headed back now, and there's more than 200 to maybe 300 men here right now in Canluum ready to follow her. Follow you.
So this is big. Like, there's 300 here in this city, never mind what she's collected going back and forth.
Young Gun at the guard gate.
Exactly. So now it's all starting to make sense where that guy's like, oh, Lan's coming like we knew he was supposed to be coming, maybe, probably.
Yeah, no,
possibly.
I doubt that.
We don't know.
It's in Lan's name because the rumors are he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, why is she raising the golden crane in the first place? And
to
also,
be the queen. It's to be the queen.
Okay, so you're going with that theory.
I mean, like, that's what's spelled out for us.
It's like brought up, and it's like kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's all kind of making sense.
It's just whether or not you're going with it.
I'm gonna go with it. We don't have enough book left for it not to be this. It doesn't matter too much, actually.
Yeah.
This is just sort of like the side story.
Side plot.
So there's a little bit more going on in this book.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
This is just the like little sprinkle of something else is going on.
That's what you think. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So Lan is like, I have to go now, and he cuts the visit
My planet
short.
needs me.
Yeah. And then he heads to the stables to be alone to do some thinking.
Yeah.
Because he needs to think about Edain and the weirdo, inappropriate relationship that they used to have.
Oh yeah, super weird and inappropriate relationship they used to have.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's terrible, and I hate it. It's the worst.
He's
it's great.
Think about it.
Yeah.
We don't get all of it just right now.
No, but we do. We do get something very important, which is a description of what Edain looks like.
Oh, okay. What is it?
Well, beautiful face, surrounded by silky black hair that hangs below her waist.
Okay.
Who's another one of Lan's new lovers who has long black hair that hangs below her waist.
Oh, is it Nynaeve?
It's Nynaeve.
Oh, okay.
Nynaeve's got super long black hair.
Oh, okay.
It's just
it doesn't hang below her waist. It's in a braid.
It's like super long black hair.
I thought you were implying that it's Lanfear.
Oh,
Beautiful with black hair.
No, that's not Lan's lover.
No, but like in disguise.
Oh my
10
god, you
years
think
ago?
that this is... Okay.
No, it doesn't make any sense. That's why I wasn't...
No, I was just saying, there's like, Lan goes for maybe a type. I just saying.
Or his type is powerful women.
Well, it also seems like he didn't have a choice about this one, so...
I didn't really sound like he had much of a choice about Nynaeve either.
Yeah, well, it kind of
more
goes
of a choice that way.
Yeah, for sure, than this.
But,
this was...
yeah, I don't see them... I didn't get that.
It was just, I gotta point it out, because it's like the long black hair.
Well, I'm gonna disagree.
That's fine.
Okay. Anyway... He's all flustered
Super flustered
about all of this, and so he needs to assume his Cody, his flame and void,
yes,
to calm himself down.
Note that he does
in the
scare
stables
off the...
and scares the stable boy away.
Yeah.
So Lan takes his big golden ring out of his pouch. That's the flying crane. It's the one we know, the Malkier King's ring.
Yeah.
And we get some history about it.
We do, about like all that good stuff. So, and I kind of like this stuff, so I'm gonna just kind of summarize it real fast.
It's all you.
So the ring itself has been worn by the men of Malkier 900 years and more back, and it's been remade over time, but the old ring is always melted down to become part of the new ring. Kind of cool. And then we get some...
For like 1,000 years or something, right?
Yeah, we get origin story about like the nations before Malkier, but the cool part is, in the cradle, Lan was given 4 gifts. The ring in his hands, the locket around his neck with the images of his mom and dad that he can't remember seeing, the sword on his hip of the Malkieri kings.
Which he got when he was 10.
Yeah, and an oath sworn in his name. And the cool part here, the locket is the most precious, the oath the heaviest.
Okay.
And then we get a little bit more. He has fought since his 16th name day to avenge Malkier, but he's never led men into the Blight.
No.
So people have ridden with him.
Some idiots have followed him.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He's like, I'm not leading you. You're just coming with me if that's what you want to do.
If you want.
Yeah.
Because this place is stupid.
Stupid, dangerous, and only I'm supposed to die here. So
not you.
Yeah, not
Get
you.
out.
This is my place where I die.
Right.
So.
Okay. And now we get some information on the cougar lady.
Yeah.
Like the inappropriate predator.
Yep.
Lady.
Sure.
Who's clearly looking out for her best interests.
Yeah.
Yeah. And taking advantage of a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah, but it's custom and tradition, so that makes it okay.
Who cares?
Right?
Who cares then?
That's totally fine.
Then it's fine. So we get to learn here that this is somebody very special, a Carnera.
Yeah, his first lover.
The chick you bang first.
Yep, well, the chick who bangs you first.
When you're 15 and she's at least 30.
Yeah, at least that.
And then she basically lays claim to him.
Yeah.
She parades him around on her arm for half a year. And then finally, Bukuma and other men gave him his Hadori, I guess, when he was 16, right?
Yeah, like the other men who brought him, like his mentors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So then once the Hadori is on his head, he alone decides, like, where he goes, when and why.
Yeah.
And I guess for that, like, half a year before he turns 16, she controlled him.
Yeah, exactly.
So not great.
Yeah. And then we do get also that it's been almost 10 years since Edain has watched Lan, like, ride away. So we could go into speculation about how old Lan is right now, where if he
26.
was... Yeah, okay, yeah. So, like, if you're thinking 26, and then in 20 years, so that means that Lan, when we see him in Eye of the World...
46.
Around 46.
Yeah.
And then if Nynaeve is, like, mid-20s...
Yeah.
Right? Late 20s, then...
Well, and if he's already been part of this meaningful relationship for him, where the age span was 15 years, I could see how he wouldn't...
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, 20 years is a pretty big deal in a relationship.
It's a big one, but, you know...
It is what
it is. What it is. So.
I'm still for it. I like the relationship.
Yeah.
Not even Lands, I mean.
Yeah. No, I got that, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Not this
No,
one.
but it does place an age. So.
Okay.
And we also get a note about how the Malkier tradition about this woman who bangs you first is a pretty big deal in your life forever.
Yeah, she's always going to be there to, like, what is it, wear a part of your soul as a ribbon in her hair?
It's so
Yeah. not for you.
Not
okay.
for me.
Okay.
No, it's not. And I mean, like, yeah, that's nice. And like, maybe if they were like the same age and it was this like love story,
Sure.
like maybe I could see like that's how this tradition started, like your first lover,
Yeah.
whatever.
And
but,
like I get that more than
this is clearly
this.
like a predatory woman who is out for, and even Lan notes later, I get it.
Yeah.
This woman clearly has always been out for her own self. And so...
All right, we're just going to go with it, so.
Sure. All right. So now the stable door is open and Bukuma comes in looking a little ragged.
Because he's been off?
He's been doing it.
Yeah, okay.
His like shirt's not tucked in and he doesn't have his sword belt.
Oh,
on.
It's not buttoned up properly. Oh,
yeah,
no.
it's misbuttoned. No. But he's like, are you okay? Russell told me about the golden crane situation. This sounds bad.
Yeah.
And they talk about everything.
And Bukuma can, like, say whatever he wants to, basically, because he's the guy who literally strapped baby Lan onto his back and carried him out of the Blights, or McGuire when it fell to the Blights. So. Right. And usually you gotta step wary about talking about, a first lover situation as it is, so that's why Lan's kind of touchy about it. So.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, Lan has a pallet in the attic for tonight, unless he spends the night in that other chick's bed.
With Lyra, yeah.
Which he probably will.
Probably will.
And then Bukuma says that he is going to be staying with Russell tonight.
And then does the little finger guns thing.
Clearly.
Cool.
Now, their conversation gets cut off as 6 men come walking into the courtyard.
Yeah, this is the action sequence. I love this.
Yeah.
Super
well, not
cool.
The courtyard, just the yard.
Just
Stable
the yard. I don't know. It's a yard, so.
You know what I was thinking? Cat crosses the courtyard. That's why I said courtyard.
Oh, yeah. Well, what's also interesting is that they're described as 6 ordinary men. And, like, back in the regular series, is anytime it's ordinary. It's yeah, but this totally doesn't.
This is actually just regular dudes.
Just regular dudes.
Yeah, one looks like a blacksmith, we find out later.
Yeah.
Except the issue is they all have swords.
Yeah, which also, it's not totally weird. It's that this is a situation that's happening now.
Yeah, and so Lan immediately knows what's going on, and now, because Bukuma just swore that dumb oath, and in my notes I wrote, Brett explain, ? Because I didn't get any of this, but now I do.
Yeah, so and that's why, and that's the whole thing about, like, Lan orders Bukuma to, like, get out of here, go bar the gates, and leave.
Yeah, go inside the stable and bar the doors so you don't fuck up your oath, and then, like, get yourself in Canluum jail.
Or whatever is gonna be.
Yeah.
But this is a thing, Bukuma wouldn't draw his sword.
So he'd just die.
Well, that's the thing. So the question is Bukuma going to try to help barehanded, and is he just going to get in Lan's way, or maybe he can go and run and call for help or something? Like, he can't do anything here in this situation.
Oh, so he was never going to break the oath.
He was never going to break the oath.
Okay, so if anything, he would have just died or run away.
Or tried to tackle a couple and die fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Lan didn't want that to happen.
So he commands him to go away.
Exactly.
And he sort of hesitates, but then he obeys, and the fight starts, and then it ends.
Yeah, and Lan's a badass.
Yeah, Lan takes some injuries, but in the end, he kills them all.
He kills 6 dudes. He's probably already like a blade master at this point.
Oh, yeah. Well, my favorite part about Lan is how the entire time he's thinking that he's about to die.
Yeah.
Like, he's not arrogant, and he's not super cocky. Even though he clearly has the skill, he never once thinks to himself, I got this.
Yeah.
No problem.
Here he's thinking, like, in the stories, you're going to fight this and be unharmed, and I might get killed right now.
Yeah, and each time he's, like, ready to just, like, he's like, I didn't want to die here. I wanted to die in the Blight.
Shoot.
Oh, well.
This isn't close enough.
Yeah,
oh, well.
And then when they're all dead, he sort of looks around, like, in disbelief. Like, he can't believe his own skill. And like, even when his buddy comes out, he's like, you got the Dark One's own luck. And it's like, no. He's actually not that lucky. He's actually just fan-fucking-tastic.
Turns out. So, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's over. The fight's done. And then people come out. So let's
they
talk
all
about this.
come out because of the noise and commotion. But that's how fast this fight was.
Oh, yeah.
There's noise and commotion, and now people are coming out.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny.
They take in the scene of Lan standing there with 6 dead people on the ground. And then Bukuma coming out of the stable.
Yeah.
And Ryan is confused by that.
He doesn't know about the oath and that kind of thing too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just with the speed of fights is kind of funny. But I like to relate it to D&D because in D&D when you're playing, 1 round of combat is 6 seconds in real time, and most fight sequences only last like 3, 4, 5 rounds. So a fight only lasts like 30 seconds in real time.
Sure.
And it just kind of makes sense when you're looking at a fight scene. It's not a big extended like 20-minute battle between Lan and 6 guys. It's like you die really fast.
Yeah.
Like it's everything's gonna happen in moments.
Okay.
So just like,
but the actual gameplay in D&D takes much longer.
Hours, definitely.
But now they're gonna check out Lan's injuries, and it doesn't seem bad enough to warrant calling for an Aes Sedai. And then that was very disappointing for me because I thought,
oh, it was gonna be like a Moraine comes to heal them. Yeah.
How are they gonna? Except, yeah, I thought that maybe.
I love how the innkeeper's like, let's get these bodies out of here.
Yeah.
They're just like dragging off bodies. It's great.
Yeah. But no Moraine.
No, not yet. Not yet.
No.
So
I thought maybe, but
okay.
No, that was like wishful thinking.
Now we got Detective Ryan on the case here.
Because this is before I even knew Moraine was here.
That's true.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Detective Ryan says, oh, no, these were no thieves and footpads.
Aha.
No.
Yeah.
That one here, I saw him listening to Edain.
Yeah.
And she was here. Really liked what she was saying.
Yeah, and it's peculiar.
And the other ones were here too, I think.
Yeah, because she first said she was going to raise the golden crane after they heard that Lan was dead outside the Shining Walls.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And he also says, your name brings men, but with you dead, she could be El Edain.
Yeah, so that's the royal prefix.
Queen
Edain.
Queen.
Yes.
And Lan thinks, you know what, that's totally possible. This chick would definitely order me dead if it suits her purposes.
Yeah, and that's kind of why Ryan's walking on eggshells here too. He's like, oh, I'm not accusing her specifically.
And Lan's
but
like, no, it's cool, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
totally makes sense. Checks out.
That's probably what happened.
Checks out.
Yeah. And then Bukuma says, hey Lan, well, what do we do now? Where do we go? And Lan says, let's go to Chachin.
Chachin, we're going. It's going to be a fun time.
Either way, he'll have to face Edain at some point.
Yeah. ...
The end.
And you know who else is going to Chachin?
Moraine maybe.
Yeah. Okay, we got to get into this because this is
that
really
big
good.
scary old lady doesn't stop her.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, chapter 17 is called An Arrival.
Yes.
And the chapter symbol is the moon and stars and like bugs,
but
hair
not
ornaments.
But not that moon and stars.
No.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's other things also.
Yeah.
Like a butterfly or something.
Yeah, well, these are the hair ornaments.
Yeah, but she has more than a moon and stars in her hair. She has like other jewels.
Yeah, exactly.
And baubles and
it's great.
And stuff. You know, 'twas the style at the time.
As one would have.
300 years ago.
Are they just in style? Or they were in style 300 years ago or something.
That's right.
Okay, that's what you're saying. I was like, is that the style now to wear these?
Yep. No.
So.
But now we're going to enter Moraine's perspective. And we have a bit of a fast forward on her journey of searching for the Dragon Reborn baby.
Here we go. I love this.
So cool.
Yeah.
Fast forward. We're in the same place. 3 months since she left Tarvalin. And it only took to the end of the first month for her to figure out that this mission is terrible.
Oh, yeah. It sucks.
She hates it.
It's actually not fun.
A lot of frustration, traveling by herself, boredom. The oaths still make her skin tight. Her butt hurts from riding a horse. She doesn't even have honey in her tea right now.
It's all terrible.
God.
This is the worst.
But I have to say, 3 months she's been gone against the Amerlin's wishes.
Yeah.
And against this apparent assassin or somebody who's looking for her.
Yeah.
Maybe from the tower, maybe not.
I mean, she's not dead yet, so...
She's not dead yet, but...
And I think she hasn't died at all up until, you know...
No, that's true. That's true.
She's there out of the world, so, I mean, things don't go terribly.
Well, I mean, they don't go great, though, because it's been 3 months and she's like, just let me find that baby already.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's going to be 20 years.
That's what you think.
Before we find the baby.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
So let's talk about this. This first lady she's visiting.
She's visiting a lady, and this isn't the first lady she's visited, it's the first lady we see her visiting.
That's what I mean.
I know, I'm just clarifying.
Okay.
Now, this lady's husband and sons and newborn baby all died in a barn fire.
Yeah, it's very sad.
In Canluum.
Yeah.
So we get that she's in the same place as Lan.
Yeah.
Which is very exciting, because at first we don't get that.
Yeah.
And then we get that. But this is the baby from one of the lists.
Yes. And it's very sad because everyone died and...
Except for the daughters. She still has
well,
her
none
daughters.
of the women did, but all the men did.
Oh, everybody.
Yeah. Which is like, okay, suspicious much?
Oh.
Did you not even think about that?
Nope.
Seriously.
I didn't think
the newborn baby.
Yeah.
And the husband, who this woman goes on a rant for pages about how lucky this guy is and how he's the most lucky guy in the universe and he always checks the candles and he's super careful all the time. And then they all just happen to accidentally die in the same stable fire.
Yeah.
From the baby, from the list of potential Dragon Reborn babies. And now that baby is now dead. Huh. Okay.
I don't know. I just have a 3-year-old, and I know how clumsy.
Oh my god.
So, like, it doesn't matter how much you check the candles.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just like, whatever. Moraine thinks whatever.
And then she's like, how could the whole stable be ablaze so fast? It makes no sense.
Well, I mean, like, fire's hot, so, like, it spreads fast. Sometimes that's what fires are like. Have you seen those videos of, like, where they set up the room and they light the Christmas tree on fire?
Yeah.
For effect.
Sure.
And for
showing how fast it can burn things
purposes.
down.
You're like, look how fast fire spreads. I literally didn't think anything about it.
Yeah, the entire thing is suspect. Like the entire paragraph.
I guess what you're saying is true.
Joseph was always careful with lanterns in the stable.
Said that already. Yeah.
And he never allowed any kind of open flames. And the boys must have carried little Jared out to see their father, and they were all trapped somehow. How could that happen? Like, it's just
I get that she's
super sus.
It's okay.
Okay.
I believe you.
I haven't convinced you yet?
I just didn't pick it up.
No, man. Okay.
And I'm always on the lookout.
Yeah.
This I didn't care so much about.
Okay. Well, we should care more because of what we know at the end of these chapters.
Dark Friends.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
So Moraine is pretty much done here, and she thinks about how she kept her identity as an Aes Sedai a secret.
Yes.
And she's here as Alice.
Yeah, she's using that name.
The alias. I like it very much. And she is dressed as a noble to get some answers.
Yep.
And she's here pretending to make sympathy calls to the mourning people. I don't know, from her own king. Even though there's no king of Cairhien, it sounds like a mess.
Okay, so she is doing mourning calls to other people who have lost people because she lost her father. Or like her uncle, sorry.
So she's like, I'm sad.
She's like, I've just lost someone, so I'm doing sympathy calls in mourning of my own king. Yeah.
Okay.
She's using that as like, I'm here because my king died, so that's why I'm doing this.
Okay, and I'm so nice.
Yes.
Here's money. And the woman says, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And Moraine doesn't like that she says no thank you.
Yeah, because the woman's got a clock, so she's like well off, but Moraine is like annoyed because she just wants to be gone from here, but then she's also having that weird dual feeling of feeling bad because she's feeling relief because the baby that just died isn't the one that's probably the Dragon Reborn. So she's like relieved even though the baby just died, and it's all just like mixed feelings here.
Got it. And we also get the latest Cairhienin news that 4 houses are currently fighting for the throne.
Yeah, and we know who comes out on top, so.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Barthanes.
Nope.
Damodred. Oh, no. Galadriel.
Oh,
no
nope.
Shit.
That's a Lord of the Rings reference.
Is that?
Lady Galadriel. Oh my goodness, I can't believe you did that.
Okay, hold on.
Get it right, and then we'll take a shot, because we have to. That's a shot. No, you said it. That's your own fault.
It's just a name.
Okay.
It starts with a G, though, right? That's why I said that?
So it's Barthanes,
and
Damodred.
Yeah. Oh my god, I don't know. Gildran or something?
Close. Galdrian. It's Riotin. Yeah, House Riotin.
Galdrian.
Riotin.
What did I say? What was the Lord of the Rings?
Galadriel.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Okay, same thing.
Yeah, totally.
You tell me that's not the same thing?
It's pretty close, yeah.
That's the same name.
You know, props for getting close.
Okay.
It was a G.
Fine. That is not a reference, though.
But it is.
Shoot. Okay, fine. But I still don't think that this is...
Well, you know. Okay. Gotta pay for your mistakes. Cheers.
God.
Yeah, the other side of this is that this woman has a clock and she's already, like, wealthy and she's gonna be receiving the bounty. And then Moraine still tries to give her, like, a little bag of coins, but It's all good. It's not important.
Anyway, we're going to move on from this, though.
Yeah.
Because now Moraine is going to head back into the town.
Yeah.
And she makes it to an inn called the Gates of Heaven.
Yeah.
Which is a very interesting name.
It certainly is.
Considering we don't know if we have a heaven.
No, but we got the fires of heaven, so like...
No, I know, but remember at the beginning of the fires of heaven when I was like, that's weird. Is there a heaven and a hell? Like, it doesn't seem that way.
Yeah, definitely not, so...
Anyway, the Gates of Heaven just sounds like a not Randland thing for something to be called.
Okay.
Anyway, that's all.
Yeah.
Let's move on. And now she stopped here, but she's regretting the fact that she stopped here.
Yes. And we get the reason why.
Because there are currently 5 Aes Sedai staying here.
At least 5. At least 5.
And none that knew her from the tower, at least. But when she first arrived, there's a brown sister named Philana.
Okay.
Who cornered her because she felt her ability to channel.
There's actually a really funny story on how this goes down.
Yeah. And I can just imagine, because Browns, for whatever reason, always seem to have some sort of ink smudged on their face.
Yeah.
Because of their constant writing.
They're always taking notes and stuff.
Taking notes, and I guess getting ink on their fingers, and then I guess touching their face with their fingers.
Yeah.
Their inky fingers.
Scratching their itchy nose and getting ink on their nose.
Ink on their nose.
It's great.
It's like a...
It's the best trope. It's the best trope that there is. But I mean, I've never written with a quill, and I assume that's a real issue.
I suppose so.
Because even when I write with a regular pen, I get pen on my hands somehow.
Yeah,
I don't even know how.
I literally have pen
It's
on
you
my
look
hands right
down.
now.
It's how did that happen?
Yeah, that's fair. That's true. I feel like Browns also should all have glasses that they always have to be pushing up their nose.
Yeah, I get that.
That's the ink on the face is the same trope, I think.
Love it.
It's the same thing.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Anyway, so this chick is like, hey, Moraine, you should really go to the tower because you clearly can channel.
You're a wilder.
Yeah, and Moraine's like, I'm too old.
It's actually really funny, and we get that it's really helpful so there's a Mistress Asher here who's an actual wilder at this inn. So the Aes Sedai just take it as Moraine is another wilder that is just happens to be here.
Right.
And Moraine just goes with it. So pretty smart thinking on her part here.
Yeah, and then she doesn't have to reveal her identity.
Just I'm actually an Aes Sedai.
Yeah, but
full styles here.
Right. Now, Moraine sort of runs out of luck.
Aha.
Because there are 2 new Aes Sedai here, and 2 of them know her very well.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's the old Mistress of Novices.
Yup.
And then Laurel, we don't specifically...
Who taught her novice and accepted classes.
It's they 100%, and the Mistress of frickin' Novices, of all people to be here.
Of course.
Of course it has to be you.
Moraine got in trouble a lot, so...
Yeah, it's there's no way we're getting away with this, except...
They get away with it.
They get away with it.
So Moraine is shit, I'm done for. But, before Laurel and Moraine, how did we say her name?
It was Marian?
I've lost the phonetic.
Yeah, I know. It was a different one. Marian
or something?
Yeah, that sounds wrong. I don't know. Doesn't matter. The old Mistress of Novices.
Right. Yep. So before they can say anything, Philana says, "Oh, don't bother with that one. She's got no interest in going to the tower. She is stubborn and secretive." And Moraine says, "Yep, I have no desire to enroll as a novice, and I will not."
Uh-huh. Fancy wordplay.
Yeah.
Because she is already an Aes Sedai. I just love it so much.
Yeah.
And then it gets better.
And then those other 2 Aes Sedai realize their mistake, and they're just gonna have to go with this.
Yeah,
now.
I love it because Laurel does the arch of the eyebrow, and then Marian suppresses a smile, so they're whatever, because not my business.
And they actually don't care because,
and it's hilarious.
And at this point, Moraine is a full Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
So if she's hiding herself from these other Aes Sedai, it's not really their business.
Well, and this is the thing too. We know that Aes Sedai rank each other on their power, their level of power. But it's also if she's equal in Aes Sedai and Moraine and Laurel know, they kind of have to play by rules of they can't pretend that she's not.
Right.
Yeah, and then one interesting side note: Moraine thinks that if she gets a summons back to Tar Valon, it's totally possible. And if you disobey an Amyrlin twice, there's a good chance that literally sisters are going to be sent to drag you back to the tower.
And that's fair. if this was a normal Aes Sedai encounter,
Yeah.
I could see Moraine being like, whoop, no worries. But the fact that she's here against Amyrlin orders is already like a strike against her.
Oh, totally. And it's just a big thing. Like,
it's just whether or not
that Amyrlin cares
Laurel or
yeah.
Mirian, whether they know
Yeah.
or care.
Or if the Amyrlin even sent for like a bring her back to the tower. Like, does she actually care? Did she forget about Moraine?
Yeah.
Like, we don't really know what it's Sierra and
it's been
what she
3
thinks.
full months,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's going to be difficult to track Moraine down.
Yeah.
If they wanted to.
Like, maybe. We also don't know how that works, so.
Yeah. Okay. But anyways, just as Moraine is about to get away with this, someone else enters.
Yes.
This is a woman that Moraine recognizes by her voice from 2 years ago that she only met once.
It's big.
And it's an Aes Sedai named Cadsuane.
Yes.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Cadsuane.
Okay.
Cadsuane. Yeah.
So this Aes Sedai is super strong in the power and wears hair ornaments in her gray hair.
As was their tradition 300 years ago or whatever it was. It's
Sure. And she does not like the idea of this girl not wanting to be a novice.
Oh, yeah. We got a bunch of backstory on her, too.
Oh, a bunch of shit happened.
Whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to summarize it because, like, we got to paint a picture for this old lady with the
she's
jingly
like,
jangles
like
in her hair.
300 years old probably?
Yeah, but don't
stupid.
talk about that. Don't
No,
talk about
except that
age.
she's going to talk about it, so it's cool.
It's cool if she does, but it's also not cool if she does. It's like a little,
I think it's cool.
Okay.
I think it's fine.
So Cadsuane is a green, and everyone kind of believes that she was dead in her retirement or whatever, because I guess that's what you do.
No one knew where she was.
Yeah, until she just reappeared at the beginning of the Aiel War. Plus, a lot of sisters probably wish she was actually dead, and I kind of understand why.
Because she's kind of a bee.
C's being a giant bee.
Yeah.
So, half the tales about her are impossibilities. The rest are beyond even that, even if you knew what actually happened. So she's basically a walking legend. There's stories of her single-handedly capturing a king of Terabon who could channel and then bring him to the tower while an entire army chased them. And then there's also the whole, like, she probably kidnapped the king of Eridoman and the queen of Saldea and then released them, and a war that was for sure going to happen just didn't after she released her kidnapped victims. And she may have also probably assaulted an Amyrlin at some point. So,
Okay.
a lot of crazy stories.
She's a legend.
Legend. Wait for it.
Dairy.
Okay.
Good one. Okay.
MPH.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched that.
Yeah.
Alright. So Moraine tries to avoid this interaction completely, but Cadsuane, the name is weird.
Yeah, Cadsuane.
Tells Mirian and Laurel to bring her to her private sitting room.
Yeah.
So
C tells M and L. Just use initials.
All
there you
right.
go. Okay.
So they listen and they all head on in.
Yeah.
And the entire time Moraine is just pissed.
So pissed off.
Because Cadsuane is treating her like a wilder
child. Yeah.
And she's an Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
And so Moraine tries to hold down her rage.
Okay, just like initial thoughts. What are your thoughts on Cadsuane?
I don't know. I like her.
You like her?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we should trust her and like her.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Even with the whole, like, Swan and Moraine being like,
yes.
Toads could be Black Aja.
Yeah, everyone could be.
Everyone could be.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But
everyone is.
But no, I don't know. I just feel like
the vibe you're getting is good.
I like it.
You like her,
I like
okay.
an old lady who just speaks her mind. That's my favorite kind of old lady.
You just want to be that person someday, so okay.
100%. That's what I want to be. I want to be a 300-year-old legend who everybody just has to listen to. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I get that.
All right, but moving on. Because now Cadsuane is just, like, observing this situation because Moraine and Mirian and Laurel all just, like, keep side-eyeing each other a little bit.
Yeah, and they're, like, alone in the room with her now, so...
Yeah. And then Cadsuane says, most new sisters hardly take off their shawls, but why are you here without your shawl, without your ring, and in this super dangerous place?
Yeah, and she, like, calls it super quick. So this woman is no schlub. Like, she knows what's up immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah.
This is a very direct question, which apparently is not something you're supposed to do with an Aes Sedai.
Yeah, there's like a lot of like taboo type of things, and it could be because we know that Aes Sedai have the whole don't lie rule.
So like you're supposed to also ask really roundabout questions.
It's like almost give each other some wiggle room.
Yeah, give each other a chance to lie or something. But Moraine figures this one out anyway, sort of. She says, most sisters seek a warder, and I haven't bonded one yet. And I've heard that bordermen make good warders.
Ooh. I mean, we know that Moraine bonds land,
yeah,
right?
I know. We know it.
But it's like, ooh.
Yeah. But then C tells L&M.
All right.
What do you know about Moraine? That's a name I can say.
Yeah, okay.
So the highlights are, well, her and Swan were the two quickest learners in the tower.
Yeah.
And Moraine is also free with her opinions and has a temper and loves pranks.
Yes.
And then Cadsuane is like, oh, is she a troublemaker?
Because the whole pranks thing?
Yeah. And they're like, no, she's a good girl. She just likes to have fun.
They're not mean pranks.
Yeah.
But what does it say?
Her and her pillow friend, Swan, got into trouble together.
You know what we haven't done for a long time?
What?
Glossary definitions.
Glossary definition of pillow friend in the glossary.
Yeah, in the Wheel of Time companion guide.
Okay, you know what I did notice?
What?
That New Spring does not, in fact, have a glossary.
It doesn't, but I'm going to give you a glossary definition.
All right, well, it's time for glossary definitions with Brett.
Okay. Pillow friend is a term used for young women at the White Tower who formed a romantic attachment to one another. Behaviors associated with this appellation generally ended when one or both parties were raised to the shawl.
Okay.
So, Moraine and Swan have a romantic relationship.
All right.
It's canon.
It's canon in the Wheel of Time companion.
Yes, that's where it gives the actual definition for that.
All right.
So, yeah, we can definitely talk about the relationship later on. We don't have to do it now because we got another chapter to go still. So
Fair. Okay. Sounds good.
But let's talk about the last prank that they pulled.
Oh, you mean their last attempted prank?
Ooh, we get an answer.
When they tried to sneak mice into Elida's bed but were caught?
Yeah, so here's the question.
Do it?
Were they caught by Elida?
Oh, I don't know.
Because
maybe.
Elida picked them up for the test the next morning.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like, did she
catch them? How would they
know?
Like, would they really admit to going to Elida, unless they were caught like right outside Elida's room or something, and the Aes Sedai just assumed.
We don't know at what point, and if it was by Elida, and if they were caught by Elida. Or if it was by
this, like, Mistress of Novices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of question marks still.
They were caught.
Didn't work.
All that matters to me is that it didn't happen, and I don't know if Elida knows if it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeesh.
Right?
Okay.
Alright. Now, Moraine is just about done with all these women talking about her like she's not even in the room, and she says, I think that's all you need to know about me, and now I have to go pack, because I'm going to Chachin.
Chachin!
Ooh.
We're going.
And then immediately she's like, God damn it!
Shouldn't have said that. Don't tell...
God.
Don't tell him where I'm going.
And so, Cadsuane has other plans, though. She's like, yeah, just be quiet and pour us some wine.
Yeah.
Shut up, lady. And
then everyone listens.
Yeah, and then they're like, hey, why are you so interested in Moraine anyway? And then Cadsuane breaks the biggest rule of them all.
Ooh.
And she starts talking about her age.
That's the worst you can do.
She says that I might live another 30 years or maybe 3. Who knows? And then they all...
Oh my goodness. Oh, don't talk about your age and when you might die.
And now, Myelin is older.
Not anymore.
And Kareen is the strongest.
Not anymore.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, God.
Oh,
no. But then after Kareen is a sharp drop to the next 5 strongest. And then another 5 being once Moraine and Swan reach their full potential?
Yeah.
Or something? She's basically implying that the Aes Sedai are all dwindling.
Yes, which is what Moraine is like freaking out about. And she's just saying like there's like the top tier people and then there's a pretty big gap to the next tier people and it gets worse from there.
Yeah, it's terrible. And then we learn that the whole point of this is that she realizes that the tower's dying And Moraine shouldn't just be, like, allowed out on her own because something's gonna happen to her and it'll be a waste.
Yeah, and it's like, it makes sense because you don't want to just let, like, your strongest Aes Sedai in, like, way too long just die because they're being idiot morons and going off by themselves. Which
That's
is what
fair.
That's what Moraine is doing in her eyes and, like, basically everyone's eyes and possibly in our eyes too. Like, we know she's got important tasks, but she is not ready for this necessarily.
No, but I mean, like, should we really just keep the strongest Aes Sedai just, like, bound up in their rooms so that the strongest Aes Sedai don't die out?
Yep, and that's what you should do with the Dragon Reborn too.
Yeah, no.
Pack him into the tower and wait for the last battle.
See, like, no.
Here we go.
I don't agree.
Really? Interesting, okay.
No, just like, if she's the strongest, we should utilize her.
Okay.
We shouldn't just bound her up and be like, now we have somebody who's strong, who's just gonna sit here and live forever.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
You just, like, wait another 50 years until she's, like, better at things.
Maybe. Okay. That's fair. But then, like, how is she gonna learn to get better at things if she doesn't go out in the world and experience them?
Huh? Okay. You're asking the real questions
I
here.
really am.
Yeah.
I should be a journalist in this world.
Totally.
Anyway. So, Cadsuane decides to lay down some rules, and she says, until Moraine does find a warder to protect her, you guys are gonna protect her.
Ooh.
You're gonna all travel together. And everyone hates this so much.
Well, the rule is until she finds a warder.
Oh, you know what?
What?
Mieren, whatever her name is,
Mieren?
is not
Marion?
the mistress of novices anymore. I forgot about that.
Yeah, she's not that.
I was like, why is she out wandering around in the world?
That's why I said the old mistress of novices. That's how
not old lady mistress of novices, the previous.
The
That's
ex.
right.
Yeah,
I just recognized that. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Because New Amerlin chose new people.
Red. Right.
Yeah.
I remember. Bad guys.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They're bad guys. They're mean.
Ugh. Okay.
Although she is the bad guy. The New Amerlin.
Is she though?
She was doing lots of bad guy stuff. Dismissing all the men from the tower.
Wait.
People.
When you say bad guy, do you mean like bad guy or do you mean like bad guy?
I mean bad guy.
Like Black Aja, bad guy. Just
guy.
like bad guy, okay.
But also probably Black Aja.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Oh, that's bold.
Let's get to the next chapter.
Okay.
Anyway, so they all hate this, but based on Aes Sedai hierarchy, they can't do much.
Yeah.
And then Cadsuane dismisses Marion and Laurel.
Yeah.
Now, I had a thought while I was re-listening to this.
Sure.
Like, I had already read it and I was listening to it for the notes, and I was thinking about the relationship between Moraine and Aguain.
Okay.
And now I know Aguain isn't a full Aes Sedai.
True.
So technically this whole hierarchy thing doesn't
matter.
But because Aguain is, like, pretending, and for all intents and purposes right now, she is Aes Sedai for, like, where they are and what they're doing.
Sure.
And I know Moraine...
But she's not in front of a bunch of other Aes Sedai.
No, that's true.
Other Aes Sedai are the only ones who know about the rules of the hierarchy of Aes Sedai.
But I was just wondering, maybe if some of the things that Moraine was, like, letting Aguain do and get away with and stuff, maybe was starting to be, like, Aguain being stronger than Moraine is.
Interesting.
And Moraine, like, knowing this hierarchy for, like, so many years.
Yeah.
That her natural inclination is to...
Well, there's a very real possibility that Aguain and Nynaeve and Elaine are already stronger than Moraine is.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about this, like, hierarchy thing with Moraine, and I know none of them are actually full Aes Sedai, so it doesn't matter yet, but...
And I mean, Aguain doesn't even necessarily know that that's a rule. So.
No, they don't. They clearly don't, because they've had literally zero tower training.
Yeah.
How would they know any... Like,
yeah. So no, it's a good point, though. And it's just really a matter of how...
Because you don't find that out. Like, Moraine and Swan didn't find that out until they were raised.
Exactly.
That's when they were like, oh.
Now it doesn't matter, because Moraine's gone.
Nah.
So it's cool. All right, good stuff.
It's not.
Good talk. Let's finish this up.
It's not. Anyway, that's just something I thought about.
Yeah, I do like that.
Okay. So now the other two are gone, and it's just Moraine and Cadsuane, of course.
Uh-huh.
And Moraine says, I agree to nothing. If I have affairs in Chachin that will not wait, I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting around here. And Cadsuane says, oh yeah, you've been Aes Sedai for 4 months, and you're telling me that you have business that can't wait? Bullshit. You're gonna stay here, and you're gonna do what I say.
Yeah.
And you're gonna stay in your bed tonight, and if I don't find you there, I will punish you.
Yeah, I'll make you cry.
Yeah.
So.
And then she leaves. And
yeah.
Moraine's like, what just happened?
I mean, she says some pretty blatant things here.
Yeah, which apparently you're not allowed to do, but she, like, just does anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She plays by her own rules. But it's also like she's saying blatant things of like, I'm going to punish you, I'm going to torture you, or like whatever.
Yeah.
if you don't do what I say. She's been around long enough that she's got like...
whatever the fuck she wants.
She's got executive grandma privilege. She can do whatever she wants to.
Yeah, and very strong and badass.
Yeah.
So?
Plus, but we also get the whole thing that Katswin mentioned Mylan and Kareen as two of Tamra's searchers.
Yes.
Right? And Moraine's like, oh, does that mean, like, was that, on purpose? Or, sidebar 2, for the TV show, Kareen has been cast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I was wondering who in New Spring was cast.
Yeah.
Interesting.
More interesting because of next chapter.
Okay.
She dead.
She's dead.
She dead.
Okay. So either she won't be dead in the show.
Yeah.
And they're just going to utilize her as, like, a character.
Like, what happens?
As, like, a strong old green.
Yeah.
Which will piss people right off.
Like, what happens with
people
this?
Are going to hate that.
Oh, yeah.
Or it'll be backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems like we already get, like, Swan backstory and stuff.
Swan.
So.
Young Swan has been cast.
And,
so
like, we might get, like, young Tower, Moraine, and Swan. Like, who knows?
If you're listening to this after the show came out...
Oh, my goodness. We're so excited.
Actually what happened? Because that would be cool.
Okay.
Because I'm probably not going to listen back to this.
Tell future
in
us.
Like a year from now.
Yeah.
But I would love your messages. Come find us on social media and let us know. I love that so much.
Okay.
All right. Chapter 18 is called A Narrow Passage.
Here we go.
And we get the Dark Friend symbol.
Woo 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 woo. Okay.
The two faces.
Yes.
So, we're with Moraine. She leaves the room and a bunch of people look at her with sympathy because, she's a wilder who just got cornered by three Aes Sedai, who was probably, they were rough on her, probably.
Yeah, which is hilarious because Katswin clearly didn't tell the other Aes Sedai what's actually going on. She's also keeping this giant secret.
Yeah. And then Philana looks happy because she's probably assumed that Moraine is totally going to be a novice now.
Yeah, and that's what she wanted all along.
Yeah. And then suddenly, a woman pops her head in the door and then jerks away, but then does it again, and Moraine realizes that it's Swan.
It's freaking Swan. Swan's here.
Heck? That seems a little plot convenient.
Why?
I know that she came to find her, but like...
Women can feel other women who can channel.
Yeah, I know. There's a whole bunch of women who can channel in here.
Yeah, so Swan probably came in here and like ducked her head and was like,
no,
she's the Aes Sedai.
But she rode here in like less than a month from the White Tower, somebody who like barely knows how to ride a horse. It's all just very, like, okay.
Well, they've been sending letters. Like, it's very realistic that Moraine was like, I'm going to Canluum next to search for...
And I know they both have the lists, and I know. It was just like, okay. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like,
okay.
It's a thing. It's fine. So, Moraine follows her. They head up the street, and Moraine thinks about, how did Swan get away from the tower? And what must have happened for her to be here, and she's like going anxiety brain crazy, running over everything that could have possibly happened. Yeah. Even though in 3 minutes she's actually gonna find out.
What actually. Well, she also goes like, "Oh my God, Swan is here to bring me back or something," and because Satalia is like, bring her back or something.
Yeah.
She spirals pretty quick.
She does. And so now they've ducked down enough streets, and they're in a quote narrow passage.
That's the chapter title.
Yeah, and Swan says, "Tell me that boy was the right one and we can hand him to the tower with 100 sisters watching."
Yeah, the one who died.
Yeah, and she's like, "No, he's not. What's going on?" And Swan says, "I couldn't trust this to a pigeon or eyes and ears or anyone." And she's all flustered and she like can't get her thoughts straight. And then she's like, "Okay, I'm just going to tell you. They're all dead."
They're all dead. Oh my God, this is a huge bombshell.
Aisha, Kareen, Valera, Ludice, and Mylan.
Yes. And then we get...
These are all the searchers, right?
Yeah, Aisha and her warder were killed by bandits in Morandi, and Kareen fell off a ship.
You're doing air quotes. People
I'm doing
can't
air quotes.
See you.
They know what I'm doing. And Kareen fell off the ship and drowned.
Oh yeah, Kareen just like falls off ships and drowns. Sure.
Yeah, and then we get
strongest Aes Sedai.
Yeah,
just like
not the. It's like she's like next in line. She's like third strongest.
Yeah. That's a lot though.
She fell off the ship and drowned.
And just drowned.
And then Moraine's dad's advice is in her head. It's like once is happenstance, twice might be coincidence, but thrice is your enemy
Shoot.
doing stuff.
Doing stuff for sure, that's what's happening.
Totally.
And now Swan is finally able to pull herself together enough to tell the story of Mylan.
Yes. That was the one who Elida was even deferring to. Deferring to?
Yes.
Showing
and this is
deference
the one,
to?
Yes, and this is the one who, what's-her-face just said is next oldest.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So now Mylan returned to the tower a month ago, and she didn't say where she'd been or where she was going, to Swan anyway.
Yeah.
So, this is from Swan's perspective.
Yeah.
So, now,
not reliable.
Swan heard about Corrine dying the morning that Mylan came back, and she'd heard about the others dying before that. So, Swan decided to speak to Mylan in secret, and Swan snuck into her room and hid under the bed, but ended up falling asleep.
Yeah.
And she woke up in the morning. Mylan had never been to her room, so she snuck out to go get breakfast. And then Chesmel Emery came in to announce that Mylan had been found dead in her bed.
Oh, and that she died during the night. Okay, so this is big.
And I just wrote, no!
No! Okay, so a couple really big, obvious things. We know Chesmel is Black Aja.
Yes, we do. Traveling with Leandrin and loves pain.
Okay.
No, that's not the one who loves pain. But she's the healer, really good in healing, but then also kills people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we also don't know specifically that she's lying. It's not necessarily a lie that she comes in to announce that Mylan had been found in her bed dead.
It is a lie, because she wasn't found in her bed dead.
I'm just saying, it could be not a lie just based on passing a message 2 or 3 lines down. Just for future reference, if you pass a message down 2 or 3 lines, you could literally have Chesmel walk in and say this, and her believe it to be true if she was told it by somebody else.
Sure, but here's the thing. Chesmel Emery, we know is a Black Aja, and we know Black Aja can lie.
Yes.
And we know, well, at least I'm under the impression...
You're under the impression they can lie.
That they can lie, and it seems like Chesmel Emery probably did the killing with the power.
So I will concede that point to you for this. Yeah. I'm just saying, be aware that it's not necessarily a lie.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. Okay.
Because wordplay. Wordplay is important.
Wordplay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But I was like, dun dun dun.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh.
This chick did this.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, Moraine understands that murder has been done.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my god, is it the Red Aja? Because she thinks that maybe a Red could kill a sister she thought was protecting a man who could channel.
Which is possible. Okay.
And she thinks, I actually really don't believe that, though. And then Swan explains that Mylan didn't have any marks on her. There was no poison or smothering. So it had to have been the power.
Aha.
And then Swan connects the dots and says that Tamara also, quote, died in her sleep.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Which I also thought was very suspicious.
Okay.
So Moraine and I are on the same page right now.
And then all the others are dead too, so everyone's dying.
They're all dead, so it only makes sense that somebody noticed her calling in these sisters. And all this means is that they don't want the boy to be found, not alive at least, so they don't want the dragon reborn at the last battle, and that can only be one thing, it's the Black Aja.
Boom. It's like the order of sequences to get to that. It's actually pretty good, it makes sense.
It's solid.
There's a bunch of Aes Sedai who are just dropping dead like flies right now. It's crazy.
Oh, for sure something's happening.
And then little babies dying in barn fires. But no, that had nothing to do with this.
Oh, okay, maybe that happened.
But that's the thing. So people on Moraine and Swan's list are going to be dropping dead. Babies are going to start dying.
Ooh, okay.
Bad news bears.
Okay.
You can quote me on this. Don't kill the babies like that.
Don't kill babies.
Don't do it.
Don't.
Yeah.
Shoot, okay.
Even if you think they might be the Dragon Reborn.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Okay. Good advice.
Okay, so are we agreeing with them? I know the whole Moraine Swan thing, they can get stuff wrong.
Yeah, remember when I was like, I'm not sure if all these people leaving are actually Dragon Reborn
Searchers. Yes.
I thought that was a throw-off.
Yeah.
If you will.
Are you changing your mind?
Kind of.
Okay, you think they were Searchers, and now they're being murdered by the Black Aja.
Yeah.
Okay.
I legit, based on everything I know...
Why else would they all be just, dying?
Yeah.
Not coincidentally.
No. It sounds like they're dying because of the Black Aja, because of the Dragon Reborn stuff.
This is a big move by the Shadow, 20 years before the Eye of the World.
Big move.
They know that the dragon has been reborn too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And we also know that they're going to have their own Searcher on the trail soon.
To kill the babies.
One, Padden Fane.
Oh, that is true. And I'm
Aha.
sure it's more than one. I'm sure Pat Vane isn't the only searcher dark friend that they found.
So there we go.
That is true, because
Aha.
Pat Vane went on the search very early on.
He
and
did.
He got driven crazy.
And they like doubled down on Fane.
Because when they targeted the area of where
they were like narrowing in.
Everybody sort of knew at the same time for some reason. And so, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Now, Swan and Moraine consider their own position in all of this, and it's likely their names weren't included in anything because Tamara never really considered them part of it, or more likely, wisely kept their names out of it.
I was going to say, was that a good move by Tamara as like a just in case? Because we got to assume the Amerlins aren't dumb.
Right. And so, otherwise, they think Swan would have already also had a, quote, accident.
Totally.
And just before Swan left, she slipped an anonymous note under...
Sierra, the new Amerlin. Yeah.
That's who that is. Right, about the Black Aja. But I really wish that she hadn't done that.
Yeah, so it wasn't about the Dragon Reborn stuff. It was about like...
Black Aja. There's Black Aja. Yes.
Yeah, which is really crazy because thinking back now to Swan as we knew, probably in like the Dragon Reborn / TSR... of like she was using the girls to search for the Black Aja.
I actually have that in my notes.
It's so fantastic.
So Swan is so freaked out about this and hates it so much. So the Swan storyline in the Dragon Reborn, Shadow Rising, and even into Fires of Heaven.
Oh yeah.
About her not being able to trust anyone when she's Amerlin and wants to hunt the Black Aja down so badly that she like uses Accepted to do it.
Yeah.
Makes so much sense here.
Yeah, totally.
Because she's been on the hunt for these Black Aja for now 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And then at this point, Moraine remembers that she was like just part of this crazy situation with Codswain.
Yeah.
And so she tries to recall everything that happened to Swan. Because
then it's like, oh my god, is she Black Aja? Is she Black Aja?
Maybe she's trying to get you out of the way so she can get rid of you.
Oh my goodness, anybody
Or
could.
the opposite. Maybe she's one of Tamara's chosen searchers.
Yeah, just like a secret and we didn't know about it.
So they can't really decide.
Okay.
And then Moraine and Swan make a plan because nobody knows Swan is here. So she should head out to Chachin now.
Yes.
And Moraine will have to wait until Codswain checks on her in the night, and then she's going to follow.
Yeah, which makes sense, because if Moraine leaves right now, Codswain's going to check on her, like, in a couple hours, and then she's going to know she's gone. But if she waits till morning, then she's basically got, like, an entire day's head start.
And she leaves all her saddlebags behind, and I hate when they do that.
Gotta leave it. And she left her pack horse.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, well. Okay, so Moraine heads back to the inn. She's super freaked out and is considering that everyone might be Black Aja, and maybe that means everyone is also a dark friend.
Yeah.
And she gets back to the inn, and it's all terrible. She has dinner with idiots. Or supper. She has supper with idiots.
Yeah. Oh,
whatever.
Man.
Is it her biggest meal of the day? Because I found out that dinner means her biggest meal of the day.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, typically. It's a farm thing.
So it probably should be in the middle of the day.
There was lots of conversation when we had that.
It's like the biggest conversation in the Discord ever about dinner / supper / different meals.
It was very interesting. I actually really liked it.
It made me hungry.
Fair. Okay. But women here are convinced that Moraine is going to the tower now to become a novice.
Because she's a dumb wilder who's going to the tower.
Yeah, and so they're trying to give her all this advice about going to the tower, and Moraine thinks to herself that all of this advice is stupid, and if anyone were to actually take this advice, it would get them either in trouble or killed.
Yeah.
It's
fantastic. I love it.
All of this information is just wrong. They're morons. And then, even worse, the innkeeper's like, hey, idiot. You have to share your room now because there's too many Aes Sedai here and they get their own rooms.
You gotta share with this other idiot, so...
who snores.
Yeah.
God.
That's the worst.
So it's a rough night for Moraine, and she's having all these crazy thoughts about Black Aja and the situation going on, and then the door creaks open.
This is actually really funny, too.
And she, pulls in all the cider she can.
She's like, I'm being attacked, oh no!
Yeah, and then Codswain checks on her and then calls her a fool.
Because she can feel Moraine pulling in all the
and she can probably
power.
See her glowing.
Yeah,
right?
it's like under your blankets or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, the monster's coming into my bedroom.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it's funny because she even thinks to herself,
oh, I forgot she was coming in to check on me.
It's like, that's why you're here.
It's
Come
like,
on,
wait
Moraine.
a minute. I thought you were laying here awake waiting for her to check on you so you could leave.
She is so much in her head, like, it's crazy.
That was a disconnect for me.
Really?
Because I thought the whole plan was wait for Codswain to
This
check on me.
This isn't the well-to-do, put-together Moraine that we know in 20 years. This is like 4 months becoming Aes Sedai out on your own in the world.
I know, but like literally immediately she forgets that Codswain's coming to check on her. Good thing she didn't actually fall asleep. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense. Anyway, moving on. She gets up. She's like, now's a good time. I have to leave. I think this is a bad decision.
Really?
I don't know if this is going to go well.
Okay.
For Moraine.
Why?
Disobeying.
Like disobeying Codswain. Okay.
But my instinct is that she should tell Codswain that all of this is happening. My instinct is that Codswain is somebody...
Team tell Codswain.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm always team tell the adults.
But
right
the
now,
issue is,
Moraine
like,
is
who
not
do
an
you
adult.
trust?
I trust Codswain.
But how do you know that for sure?
Get check.
Yeah, it's never the person you most suspect or the person you least suspect.
It's the person you medium suspect.
Most medium suspect.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I don't suspect Codswain, and I am fully on board with telling her this situation.
Okay.
I think she would be very blunt and be able to help.
Well, there's still opportunity.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Moraine's heading out, but like she's not gone yet.
She's not gone for sure. Okay. So she's leaving her saddlebags because everyone would be suspicious if she brought that. They'd be after her too fast, especially because she specifically said where she was going. And then she's still
going there.
Why? Why wouldn't you guys go somewhere else?
That's the thing, but people will most suspect. You're like, oh, she'll never actually be going to Chachin. She couldn't be that dumb, so I'll go the other direction because there's no way she's going to where she said.
Yeah, but that was never a thought process that they actually thought. If that actually happens, it would be coincidence.
Exactly.
Anyway, whatever. She goes, she leaves her stuff, she brings her money, plus the weather's bad.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. We're going to try and escape.
Yeah. Okay.
Love it.
I bet, like, what if Codswain is, like, down at the foot of the stairs
just,
still?
like, waiting?
Yeah.
She's not a fool. I mean,
know.
Codswain knows what's up.
I don't know. I have to tell you, I took a little sneaky peek.
Did you?
At the next chapter title.
Okay.
And I'm very excited.
The next one's called Pond Water.
Yeah.
I know why you're excited about that.
Yeah, I bet somebody gets pushed in a pond.
There's a reference that we got, like, early in the series about
Ages ago.
Yeah, a long time.
Actually, maybe, like, Shadow Rising.
We'll talk about that next episode.
I'm excited.
We only have 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
And we're done the book.
You know what? From the time I read these chapters to the time we recorded, it's been a while. We've been busy.
I'm going to tell you, these next 4 chapters are pretty good.
That's great, because I've been waiting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited. Things are going, and it's fun to read about, so.
Okay, well, here we go.
Yes, because next episode we are covering chapters 19 through to 22.
Yes, 4 chapters.
So before you run away from yet another authority figure, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett with Essen, Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jamie Young, Cody Fouts, Megan Smiley, and Jonathan Reese, with music by Audionautics.com. If you're interested in supporting us and the podcast, you can head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. And for all things The Wheel Weaves, like how to get in contact with us, how to find our social media, how to join our Discord, how to send us really cool shot glasses, and for just general information, you can find us at thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, please remember to tell a friend about us, leave that 5-star review, and hit that subscribe button. Thanks again for sticking around to the end. This is really part of the pattern now.